1st?
Wednesday, April 1st.
Hi, Instagram.
3, 2, 1, and live.
Hi, how are you? I'm Mel Robbins. This is Stay Connected. Super excited that you're here. It's Wednesday, April 1st. This is not an April Fool's Day joke. We are still in quarantine. I'm entering week 3 with my family outside of Boston. Could you do me a favor? I'm so thrilled that you're here. I love staying connected with you. Will you go into the comments and tell me where are you watching from? And if there's anything that you want to say from the get-go or a question that you have that you're hoping I will ask it in the comments right now. Oh, I just remembered I did not put in my earbuds for staying in touch with my producer who's off camera right now. Let's see, does that work? Do I hear? I hear her. Okay, fantastic. So I'm Mel Robbins. I'm the best-selling author of The 5-Second Rule. You can see behind me. There it is. It's been translated into 32 languages. The book is all about how you change habits, how you change the way that you think. I'm so proud of that book. I'm also proud of the 3 #1 audiobooks that we have created for Audible, all about your trauma response, about patterns, about decision making, about getting ahead in life, about meeting crisis. And so I started this live stream because I wanted to stay connected with you. I also am the host of the Mel Robbins Show, which is a daytime syndicated talk show here in the United States that airs 5 days a week. You can still watch it 5 days a week. And I am talking today about an incredibly important topic, and that is the 3 secrets that you need to know to stay. I have it on Do Not Disturb. Why does the phone ring when it's on Do Not Disturb? I have no idea. Can I put it on silent? Maybe it is on silent, and it is on the moon thing. Can anybody explain to me why that happens while you're broadcasting live, that phone calls interrupt? I have literally clicked every button. I would love to know. If you know anything about that, please put it in. So I see that we've got folks watching in Panama, in Moscow, Wi-Fi calling is probably on. Ooh, I don't know how to turn that off. I see California. Oh, I saw airplane mode, Portugal. Welcome in Brazil. Welcome in Turkey. I love that we have a global audience. And today we're talking about optimism. Hello, Staten Island. And hello, Panama. And I also have really good news because we are now taking your questions. We are taking your questions live. I am super excited. Actually, they're not live. I'm answering them live. We're going to get to live stream jump-ins hopefully next week. I would love to see if we could get you live into the question and answer thing next week. That would be incredible. Hello, Illinois. Hello, Colombia. If you have a question, I see Rue Kenya has a question. Just write it in the comments. Hello, Nova Scotia. So today we're talking about optimism. And I'm going to explain what optimism is. Then we're going to jump in and take a question from Lorenzo in Italy. And I think you're going to relate to the question because I got his question and I thought, oh my God, Lorenzo, this is the exact same thing I'm struggling with. So let's jump into optimism first. If you Google the word optimism, you will see a definition that is about optimism being the belief or the hope that things will be better in the future. That is not the definition of optimism that I use. Nope. Nope. Optimism. When I talk about optimism is a skill. Optimism is a mindset. Optimism is something that you can build, and I'm going to teach you 3 secrets to building optimism today on the live stream. Optimism is the mindset where you believe that no matter what you're facing, you can affect positive change on the outcome based on your thoughts and based on your action. Optimism is not being in a shitty situation and hoping it gets better. Optimism is being in a shitty situation and believing that your mindset and your actions can have a positive impact on the outcome of this shitty situation. There is no doubt in my mind that your mindset and your thoughts and your actions are critical to your success, to your happiness. They are critical to how you move through this particular moment of uncertainty. They are critical to you feeling a sense of control, to you having resilience. And look, you're going to hear me say this a million times. You didn't choose to be in this situation, but you can choose how you move through it. And today I'm going to give you the 3 things that you need to know in order to build an optimistic mindset. I'm going to show you something really important about why optimism is so important and why it is it's so important for you to build an optimistic mindset, particularly if you default to pessimism. Then we're going to take Lorenzo's question from Italy. I'm going to answer it, and then I'm going to give you the 3 things that you can start doing today in order to build an optimistic mindset. And if we have time, I will absolutely scroll through the comments and I will start taking your questions. Okay. Oh, Bangladesh. I see somebody joining from Bangladesh. How you doing? I'm so glad you are here. I see somebody asking, how do you overcome the negative thoughts and the negative news? I'm going to hit it all, but let me show you something first. This is what happens when you are a pessimist. Oh shit. It's negative. It's the reverse on Instagram, I think. Oopsie. Well, we will push this on our blog. And if you want to see this on the front way, you're going to go to YouTube or Facebook, because basically what happens when you're a pessimist, I apologize if this is backwards, but you're going to start to see, is that what happens when you're a pessimist is that your mindset, it's like putting on a pair of glasses, right? Right now I have clear glasses, so I can see clearly. If I put on a pessimistic set of glasses, everything that I see is suddenly tinted in a negative gray setting, right? Oop. Being optimistic, being pessimistic, it's like putting on glasses that tint the way you see the world. And what I want you to know is that at any moment in your life, and this I hope is the moment, I want you to make a choice, because you can choose to develop an optimistic mindset. A pessimistic mindset. I'm going to wear these dark glasses, because what happens when you have a pessimistic mindset is no matter what's happening, you focus on what's wrong. You see things in a dark, negative way. And then when you focus on what's wrong from your mindset, guess what happens? You start to ruminate. And you start to complain either out loud or to yourself. And when you start to ruminate and you start to complain, guess what happens? It creates more of that. And what does that do to you? You see more negative because you're complaining and you're ruminating. What else do? You start to feel helpless. And the other thing that you do is you're going to get really stuck. You're going to get stuck in a negative place, which reinforces a pessimistic mindset. At any moment, everybody, you can decide you are going to see things differently. You're going to put on a different mindset, which is like putting on a pair of glasses that have a colored lens. When you are optimistic, and again, I apologize to you if you're watching on Instagram and this is backwards. We will make sure on the blog at melrobbins.com and also on every other social media platform, you will be able to see this. We will also post this in Instagram stories. When you have a optimistic mindset, which is a choice, it's a skill that you build. Number 1, you focus on what you can control, okay? And in any situation, I don't care how shitty of a situation you're in, there are always 2 things you can control. You can control whether or not you have a positive attitude about what you're experiencing, and you can control whether or not you take action. Those are the 2 A's that are always in your control, no matter what you're facing. Okay, and if you disagree with me, just pick up a copy of Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning, and you will read a memoir about a man who kept himself alive at Auschwitz because he cultivated an optimistic mindset. He cultivated an attitude. He took tiny actions that gave him the sense of hope and gave him this feeling that no matter what was going to happen, he could affect a change based on his own thoughts and action. And finally, when you focus on a positive attitude and taking action, what happens is you're able to reframe a negative situation, you're able to make a plan, and you will feel empowered, which only helps you build a more optimistic mindset. You see, you're either going to get stuck in a negative, pessimistic loop, or you're going to make a decision today that you're going to build an optimistic mindset. You're going to focus on what you can control, and you're going to build a positive attitude, and you're going to start taking tiny actions that allow you to reframe what's going on, make a plan, and feel more energized. And you need to do this because I'm going to tell you something. I know that most people are planning to stay inside until the end of April. You got a plan for 10 weeks. I realize I'm not an epidemiologist, but I'm looking at the experts. I'm listening to Bill Gates, who is an expert in world health issues. I am looking at what epidemiologists say. And when I say 10 weeks, if you're pessimistic, you go, oh, shit. 10 weeks, I'm screwed. You start to ruminate. You start to complain. You're going to feel helpless and stuck and hopeless, and you're going to freak out. I want you to choose today to be an optimist. You hear 10 weeks, we're going to focus on what you can control, which is a positive attitude for these next 10 weeks and taking action. That's going to help you reframe things. And I'm going to give you again the 3 things that you need to do in order to develop an optimistic mindset. You're going to make a plan and you're going to feel empowered. And that's how we begin. So now let's jump to Lorenzo in Italy. For those of you in Instagram, I am going to just have you listen to his question because we cannot play it here without me screwing up the broadcast. So go ahead. We are going to bring in Lorenzo's video from Italy, and here is his question. Oh.
Question for you is, I've noticed that whenever I wake up in the morning, there is a lot of anxiety that just spikes up all of a sudden, and my brain immediately goes to everything I have to do, my morning routine, and if I don't do it, I feel a lot of shame and a lot of guilt. And I was hoping that you could give me some tips as to how to get out of that mindset of, oh my gosh, the day's starting. I need to make this a great day. I need to start this on the right path. And so I was just hoping that you could help me with that. Thank you so much. A big hug to you. Ciao.
And a big hug to you too, Lorenzo. So did you hear that on Instagram? And a big hug to you too, Lorenzo. Okay. So let me repeat the question. Lorenzo basically says that every single morning he wakes up and he's trying to stay positive, and he has a morning routine and he has an exercise routine, which is excellent. But then if he doesn't do it, he drops into this shame cycle. Oh, I just saw what we could do. Okay. Everybody's coaching me on what to do with the video because they want to see the video. I realize, can we play it one more time so that people can hear it, people can watch it? And then you've got the clean cut from the beginning? Okay. So I am present to the fact that on Instagram, I hate that I'm not showing this to you. And I have to just say what I'm present to because I'm starting to get really distracted by the fact that this is not going perfectly, and I'm starting to go into a pessimistic mindset. And you can see how quickly that this happens. So I understand that you guys can hear it. And so could you roll it one more time, Mandy? Because I have already forgotten what the question is now that I'm distracted. And I'm going to quickly turn it around. Hold on. I got to get the thing up. I'm going to turn it around. And then here we go.
My name is Lorenzo, and I'm from Italy, and my question for you is, I've noticed that whenever I wake up in the morning, there is a lot of anxiety that just spikes up all of a sudden, and my brain immediately goes to everything I have to do, my morning routine, and if I don't do it, I feel a lot of shame and a lot of guilt. And I was hoping that you could give me some tips as to how to get out of that mindset of, oh my gosh, the day's starting. I need to make this a great day. I need to start this on the right path. And so I was just hoping that you could help me with that. Thank you so much. A big hug to you. Ciao.
Okay, we did it. Andy, we did it. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Fabulous. Okay, we did it. So what a fabulous question. How many of you can relate to Lorenzo's question? I know I can. And a big hug to you too, Lorenzo. And it's super cute. I see everybody in the comments going, big hug to you too, Lorenzo. Here's what I noticed about that question. There were a bunch of things I want to unpack about that. So Lorenzo said he wakes up every morning feeling anxious. How many of you do too? You wake up and you feel this intensity, okay? Whether it's intensity about what's going on in your community and in your world or your household, or intensity because you immediately think of all the things that you need to do. The first thing that we've got to address is that adrenaline rush, that anxiety-driven response first thing when you wake up, okay? It's very common to feel that right now. And the reason why it's very common to feel that right now is because we are all living in a heightened state of fight and flight right now. The news is so negative and things are changing on a daily basis. And so whether you realize it or not, your body and your nervous system is being triggered and your adrenaline response is at a heightened state. And so waking up and feeling anxious and feeling like you got a ton to do and feeling all this pressure, this is super normal. And so the first thing I want you to do is I want you to do something new every morning. When you wake up, if you're waking up and you feel that intensity of all the things that you got to get done today, whether it's schoolwork or it's your morning routine or it's making sure you have a good day, I want you to take a deep breath. Okay? Because I need you to ground yourself. I want you to do a grounding exercise. And this is going to sound really weird, but I've been using it a lot and it's going to help a lot. I want you to bring yourself into the present moment. And one of the fastest ways that you can do it is by reminding yourself of the date. Today is Wednesday, April 1st. I'm okay. I'm healthy. I'm here. And I am in control of making this a great day. Okay? If you just come up with something where you take a deep breath, you remind yourself of what today is. It's Wednesday, April 1st. It's not September 2020. You don't need to worry about the future. It's not 4 days ago. It is right now in this moment. Bring yourself into this moment because I think launching yourself out of bed and allowing that panic and that anxiety to dictate how you start your day, it's going to create a domino effect of stress. It's going to build and build and build. Okay? So that's number one, Lorenzo. Take a deep breath. Tell yourself the date. Remind yourself that you are okay. You can also use the 5-second rule, which is simply counting backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To interrupt the anxiety response, the adrenaline response that you're feeling. And then here's a simple trick, Lorenzo. When you guys find yourselves starting to go, I have to do this, and I got to do my homework, and I've got the online class, and I have a conference call at 9, and I have this, and I have that, and I have the other thing. I want you to switch I need to and I have to these 3 words. You ready? Instead of going, I need to do this, and I need to do that, and I need to do the other thing, I want you to say, I get to. Simply flipping the words I need to or I have to I get to. It flips you from a mindset of pessimism and panic and anxiety and into a mindset of control and gratitude. I get to jump on a conference call, which will remind you that you have a job and you have friends. I get to exercise today, which reminds you are in control of moving your body. I get to go through my to-do list. I get to work on my homework. I get to cook dinner. I get to wake my kids up and help them through their day. I get to. Whatever it is that you normally need to or have to that is creating this panic in you, switch to those 3 words, Lorenzo, and you right there watching, I get to. And you will immediately take control and have a more optimistic mindset, and you will also leverage the power of gratitude. The other thing is, you said that if you don't exercise, you don't get through your to-do list, and you don't do your morning routine, you start feeling shame. And for those of you that don't know the difference between shame and what's the other word I'm looking for, Mandy? It's shame and there's guilt. Shame and guilt. Okay, great. There's a big difference between feeling shame and feeling guilt. Shame is when you say, I'm a bad person because I didn't move through my entire to-do list. Guilt is when you say, I feel bad about the fact that my to-do list is so long, I wasn't able to get through it. Shame is when you make yourself feel like a bad person. Guilt is when you say, I did this thing that I don't like. Super important to really fight against drifting into making yourself feel like a bad person because you are not able to get through your to-do list or able to do everything that you hope to do. So I wanted to talk about the difference in that, because one of the things that you can do when you start to see a couple days in a row that you're not able to do some things that you had set out to do is, instead of saying, I'm a broken person, ask yourself, do I have a broken process? Let me say that again. Lorenzo said he feels shame and feels bad because he has not stuck to his morning routine the last couple days, and it's spiking his anxiety. Instead of Lorenzo saying, I'm a broken person and there's something bad about me, ask yourself, do I have a broken process? And is there something bad about the process I've set up to support myself in doing this? Here's what's happened to me. I related to Lorenzo's question because for the last 2 mornings, I have woken up feeling exhausted, sad, emotionally heavy, and dare I say, a little pessimistic. And letting that despair sink in, I have not exercised in the past 2 days. I know I say it every day. You got to move your body every day, no matter what, because you store negativity in your body. I have not done it. I have felt like I needed sleep. I have felt sad. I have been super busy with work and planning these live streams and a bunch of other cool stuff we have going on. And I have felt emotionally heavy. And so I was starting to make myself wrong too. And so instead of saying I'm a bad person because I didn't do these things that I really want to do and I get to do, and it makes me feel positive and it makes me feel more powerful, examine the process. And what I realized is I'm not getting up early enough. That's the problem. I need to get up a little bit earlier, and I also should shrink the amount of time that I'm spending on exercising. So instead of trying to find an hour to do something, what if I try to do a half an hour? And so it's the process that needed tweaking, not me. And so again, let me recap. If you're waking up with a stressed out, anxiety, freaking out, take a deep breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Count backwards from 5. Use the 5-second rule and cut off the anxiety response. Say today's date is Wednesday, April 1st, to bring you into the present. And then remind yourself that you're okay. Anything that is on your to-do list, anything that you want to do that you're starting to make yourself wrong about, instead of saying I need to and I have to, start saying I get to do this. I get to exercise today. I get to go to work today. I get to be with my kids today. I get to support my kids in getting through their homework. And finally, if you keep seeing that the things that you get to do aren't getting done, ask yourself, is there a broken process and do I need to upgrade it? That should take care of that. Now what I want to do is I want to talk to you about the 3 strategies that will keep you, the secrets to building an optimistic mindset. You ready? Excellent. Here we go. Number 1, the secret to an optimistic mindset. You got to be maniacal about your intake. Negativity in here means negativity in your body gets stored here and negativity comes out here. It becomes this loop of negativity. And so in order to build a positive mindset, I want you to be maniacal about positive input. That means really watch your news intake. Do not be watching it every day. Get the facts, get what you need to know from a trusted, measured, calm, factual source, and then turn that shit off, okay? That's number one. Number two, edit your social media. Anything on your social media feeds should be helping you be more resilient, more optimistic, more positive. Anything that you're following that triggers you, that is negative, that rubs you the wrong way. You know, one of the things that I've noticed, I have some favorite celebrities that I have followed for a while because I think they're funny, or I love just kind of their sense of humor. But there are so many people that I have muted right now because I think that what they're doing online is so freaking out of whack. Seeing people give us advice about quarantining from the back of their estates and mansions, telling us to donate when they're not saying they're donating, seeing this kind of tone-deaf celebrity thing going on. I'm normally not a negative person about that, but I have muted so many accounts because it's not doing anything for me. And you got to be selfish right now. You have got to edit your social media feeds so that your social media feeds are helping you build an optimistic and positive mindset. And so every day, the second I see something, I mute, unfollow. Because negativity in means negativity gets stored here, means negativity goes out there from you. You want to put positivity, optimism, tools, strategies, things that keep you laughing, things that keep you giving you things that you can use right now. The second you start getting overloaded with Corona stuff, mute that stuff, edit your social media based on what you need. That's number one, maniacal about your intake. The second secret to building an optimistic mindset is do tiny things every day that boost your mood, okay? So we're going to build your mood muscle. If you can, move your body because negativity gets stored here. And moving your body, we know based on the research, simply moving your body for 10 or 20 minutes a day will release chemicals in your mind that help you boost your mood. The second thing that will boost your mood is I want you to make a tiny promise to yourself every day. Just one thing that makes you feel more positive. Is it getting up on time? Is it eating something healthy? Is it only having one glass of wine or reaching for a mocktail? I want you to put one tiny promise into place. Put it into the comments right now. What's one tiny promise that you can make to yourself that you're going to do every day? It might just be that you're going to wake up every day, take a deep breath, remind yourself that you're healthy, and that's going to be the tiny promise. I want you to do one tiny promise every day because keeping a promise to yourself will boost your mood and make you feel more in control. Another way to build your mood muscle is have a zero tolerance policy for your own negative thoughts. Right now, as you edit social media and edit your news take and edit your negativity coming in from the outside world, do not tolerate negativity from the inside world. I woke up this morning, I looked in the mirror, I looked at the gray hairs that are coming in, particularly like right up here, and I started to go negative. I started to feel dreary, and I went, Mel, cut this shit out. You got to fight to stay positive, gal, because we are in this for another couple months. And do not succumb to despair. Do not start thinking negative stuff. When you have negativity internally, you got to have a zero tolerance policy for that shit. It's one thing to feel what you need to feel so that you can move through it. It's another thing to let negativity dwell up here and start ruminating. The 5-second rule is genius for this. Count fucking backwards. The second that negative, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Not listening to it. No. I am redirecting my thoughts. That's right. I am looking for the things I can control. I am keeping a positive attitude by focusing on things that I can control right now today. Got it? Good. The third thing that you need to do in order to build an optimistic mindset. You ready, everybody? Here we go. I want you to pick a small 10-week goal that you can control. Why am I saying 10 weeks? I'm going to tell you why 10 weeks. Because I think that we've got 10 weeks ahead of us of physical distancing. I think we've got 10 weeks ahead of us, if we do it right, of life in this weird state. And I want you to pick one thing, one project, that's it, for the next 10 weeks. That's your personal project. It's something you can control. You ready? Something you can control. We're talking about how to build the skill of an optimistic mindset. And part of an optimistic mindset is focusing on what you can control. And I don't want you to jump ahead and worry about what's coming in the future. I want you to stay in this moment with me. I want you to realize that if you took on one small project for the next 10 weeks that you could control, something you've wanted to learn, some skill that you would love to have, some deficiency in your resume or your experience that you could gain in the next 10 weeks, there is something called YouTube University. That's right. Professor YouTube has so many tutorials out there. It's amazing. Right now, my husband is taking a Buddhist meditation teacher training class. My daughter is taking 2 classes. She is learning how to be better at Excel because she thinks it will help her with her summer internship. And it's something she was nervous about during the interview process. And she's also taking a painting class. What is one thing that if you were to use the next 10 weeks and we emerge from this and step into the next chapter of our lives and you have learned something or you have developed a skill that equips you to feel like you are better positioned to step into this next chapter, you will constantly wake up every day and say, today I get to take this class. Today I get to work on this thing. Today I get to spend an hour polishing my Chinese, working on personal development. I see you. I see Himmy Mom building a website. I see Sephora saying she's going to improve her English. I see Nabil saying I'm going to develop editing and online skills. I see LDG, creative, healthy cooking. I see Salio saying I'm going to find a class on YouTube University. What's a 10-week thing? Oh, I see Jack saying I'm going to take a French class. I'm going to learn how to crochet. I'm going to begin an online master's program. If you narrow your span of control to managing your mood, to being maniacal about the intake into your mind, and working on a 10-week goal, you will be building an optimistic mindset because you will have weeded out negativity in from the outside world, which means negativity won't get stored here and it won't get expressed from you. You will have built your mood muscle by forcing yourself to move every day, by keeping a tiny promise to yourself, and by being absolutely zero tolerance for your own negative bullshit on the inside. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Redirect your mind to something you can control. And having a 10-week personal project where you pick something and you use YouTube University and you use this moment of time where you don't have anywhere to go and you don't have social distractions. You got time to focus on yourself. These 3 things will help you build an optimistic mindset. Absolutely, positively guaranteed. Can I require this of my teenagers? Here's what I would say about teenagers. One of the hardest things for teenagers right now is their loss of independence. And trying to require anything of your teenagers other than showing up for family dinner and creating their own routine, I think is a recipe for disaster. What I would do instead is I would share that this is what you're doing. And I would ask your teenagers a question. If you had a half an hour every day where you dedicated it to something other than school or other than being on your phone looking at social media, what's one thing that you never have time to do that you love doing? Is it playing guitar? Is it painting? Is it journaling? Is it reading a book? Is it knitting? Is it working on your tricks out on the trampoline in the backyard? What is it? If you ask your teenagers questions, in answering the question, they may find the self-motivation that this is something they want to do. I love that I don't know how to say your name, Jowl, is working on emotional dependency and breaking apart the patterns that had you become somebody that was codependent and emotionally dependent on other people. Dr. Caro, I love you very much too. I think that's it. Today, the whole broadcast was about optimism. The reason why you cannot allow yourself to get into this pessimistic mindset loop, because it keeps you feeling helpless, it keeps you feeling stuck, it keeps you overwhelmed, and it makes you just stay stuck here. And why you got to build the skill of optimism. Because when you are optimistic, it's not that you are slapping a positive spin on a shitty situation. You are cultivating a mindset where you believe in your bones, your soul, every part of your being, that no matter what you're facing, you can have a positive impact on how you experience what you're facing, because you can choose what you think about and you can choose how you respond. And when you start to develop an optimistic mindset, it creates more optimism. It helps you see solutions and opportunities. It makes you feel more in control. It gives you things that you can focus on. It begets the ability to feel empowered, which only creates more empowerment for you. And the three things that you can do to create an optimistic mindset is, number one, here's the 3 secrets. Be maniacal about what you allow into your mind. Totally. We do not turn the news on in this house. We don't allow it. Because you know the old saying, if it leads, it bleeds. There is nothing but negativity coming off of the news right now. So there are a few things that we check. I look at the CDC, I look at the World Health Organization, and I look at the state of Massachusetts website, and that's about it. And I look at what Bill Gates is writing. And once I have the facts, I just focus on what I can control. I focus on my safety. That's it. I've also, every day, I edit social media. Your social media should be serving you. If it triggers you in any way, if it creates any negativity, any tone deafness, anything, mute it, unfollow, get rid of that shit. Social media should be a service that is supporting you right now in your efforts to stay positive, to stay empowered, to stay safe, and to stay laughing. That is what you should use it for right now. The second thing to do to build a positive mindset is build your mood muscle. Move your ass 10 to 20 minutes every day, because your body stores negativity. Make a tiny promise to yourself that you're going to keep every day, because keeping a small promise builds confidence, makes you feel like you're in control, and it creates momentum. And 0 tolerance for your own negative bullshit. You got it? It's one thing to feel feelings, to move through them. It's another thing to let negativity sit up here and make you ruminate. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In 5 seconds flat, you feel your own negativity. You get that bullshit out of there. You got no room for that stuff right now. And finally, the third thing you can do to start to build an optimistic mindset, establish a 10-week personal project. This is something that you are excited to do, that you usually don't have time to do. Why 10 weeks? Because I think that 10 weeks is going to see you through this moment of time. Use YouTube University to watch tutorials. Take small step every single day. And remember this little hack that I taught you. Thank you, Lorenzo in Italy. If you start feeling the stress and anxiety and panic of, I need to do this, I have to do this, blah, 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 I can't get through my to-do list, I'm totally stressed out, blah, 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 blah. Stop. Take a deep breath. Use these 3 words. I get to. I get to take an online class. I get to do my homework. I get to do this to-do list. I get to be home with my family. I get to have this time alone. I get to work on myself. I get to fight to be positive. I get to take 20 minutes every day and stream an exercise class. It will flip your mindset into one of optimism, of control, and gratitude. Because let's face it, if you're healthy right now, and if you're able to watch a video online, you have reason to be grateful. And when you remind yourself of that, you will feel positive. Somebody just asked me why Bill Gates. I'm going to answer real quick. Because he's one of the smartest human beings on the planet who has made a commitment to donating almost his entire wealth to charities. And for the last decade, he and his wife have been at the forefront of global health research and initiatives and taking action. And if there is a man who is informed, who has been studying this, he gave a TED Talk in 2015 about pandemics, about world health, where he predicted this. He is talking about the fact that there are 3 things that we need to do right now. And one of them is we need to all be enforcing physical distancing for 10 weeks. We need to develop a way for everybody to test themselves so you know whether you've been exposed or not. And we need to collaborate globally on a vaccine. All 3 things based in fact and research, all 3 things that are measured and calm, all 3 things that make a hell of a lot of sense that I get behind. And so that's one of the reasons why. Research, credibility, a decade worth of experience, the smartest people on the planet, and a measured factual delivery. That is what I respond to, because I'll be damned if I allow fear, cynicism, hysteria, any of that crap that you see all over the news and the internet right now to enter my mind. There is no reason for it. You have the facts. 10 weeks, keep yourself safe, keep your mind optimistic, stay connected with me, stay connected with your family and friends, and we will get through this. 1,000%. We will get through this together. All right. I will see you tomorrow. I'll see you on social media. Oh, can you get from Megan? We're doing something fun. I don't mean to be tone deaf, but we are starting a, can you get the challenge for tomorrow? We're starting a bingo of sorts. I don't know the name of it. We're going to get it right now. Let me look on my my computer real quick. I bet Megan texted it to me. We are doing like a daily thing that's really kind of fun to do because I want us to stay connected, and I do not have the information I need. Megan, are you watching this? I don't know what we're calling it. So I guess we'll kick it off tomorrow. It doesn't matter that we're not doing it today. April Fools. Ha ha ha. There's the joke. I didn't have it ready. We're going to do a daily challenge. We're going to create a weekly like bingo board where every day on the live stream and on social media, I'm going to tell you what's coming tomorrow. So for example, Friday night, guess what? Sean T, exercise, beach body, hip hop abs, my friend Sean T, guess what? At 9 p.m. Eastern, Sean T and his husband Scott, my husband Chris and I, and our kids and you, we're going to have a dance party. Bring your wine, bring your mocktail, come hang out with us. Tomorrow, I don't know what the challenge is, so we will kick this off tomorrow. Oh, Thursday. Oh, you ready? Thursday, April 2nd. Here's what we're all going to do together. We're going to do Throwback Thursday together. That means you're going to post on social media a photo of yourself. Throwback Thursday, people. You're going to tag me. Bonus points if the photo was taken in the place you look forward to going to most when this is over. Me, you know where I look forward to going, Lake Michigan. So I know I can count on Mindy Borman to post a photo of her at Disney World because I know that's where she's going when this is all over. So tomorrow, Thursday, April 2nd, I'll remind you tomorrow, the thing we're going to do together to stay connected all across the web is it's Throwback Thursday. You find an old photo, you post it online tomorrow, you tag me. And we're going to start to repost these and remind us that no matter where you are, if you're going through this and self-isolating alone, if you are with your family and you're driving them and they're driving you crazy, we are in this together. We will stay connected. Tomorrow is Throwback Thursday. We'll have more information on this. Just something to do, to know that you're in it with a bunch of other people. particularly for those of you that are watching this and you're alone, we want to create a community thing. And yes, we'll be posting this. We'll put something up on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere so that you know what to do. And here we go. Tomorrow's Throwback Thursday. Listen, if nobody else tells you, I love you. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to build an optimistic mindset. And I'm going to be here every weekday at noon Eastern to help you stay connected to your power, to positivity, and to each other. I'll see you later.